in general, just worry about racing, worry about winning, worry about not dying, worry about doing your thing. Immediate trapdoor for both racers. And it will be a clean trapdoor. Moving on. We got some dragon stuff going on. Pretty just pushing on both racers. Not a moment's of hesitation to look around for items or anything. Jaguarnick is not in the best spots here. We'll take a hit from the gold slime. Is going to give them the iframes after to tank the fireball without taking much damage. Slimo, however, going down to 1.5 hearts already. Not the best of spots. Absolutely no items picked up on both sides still. This is just pure push past zone 1. Okay, Nick actually is gonna take a bit of extra time to farm up, it seems. There will be a 2-2 cracked wall, and there will be a value bomb. Gonna be able to check this crate, which will be filled with gold, and also crack open a glass shop. Slimo, meanwhile, using their one bomb that they spawned with in order to bomb out King Konga. They are focused on moving fast. I think rolling that bat there, very risky. Given that you definitely want these flawless chests, given they have absolutely no items, so they will be rewarded with an obsidian longsword. There is 3 bombs and a tier 3 cracked wall, but Slimo is having none of it. Knows that it's never the food shop, and will move on. But I really do believe that is worth checking. So that is pretty wrong call, I think. If that is the food shop, which there's a 50% chance, it could help so much. We have a purple check for Jaguarnick. It will be bad. Definitely wanted to take the black chest, I think. Very strong ring for Slimo here. They will be able to ring swap as well, so even more than just being a good ring, it's also a ring swap off of darkness. And Jaguarnick also opting not to check them. Oh god, we have seed variants. We have seed variants because Slimo doesn't have particles on. Jaguarnick getting a Shrine of Peace instead of darkness, which this game is stupid. Come on. I forgot if there was rules or anything about seed variants with particles, because that is a pretty big difference, though Jaguarnick will still luck out and still get a pretty good shrine. Though it isn't darkness. But yeah, I was saying earlier, both racers finding bombs, 3 bombs, and not checking a tier 3 cracked wall. Could be a food shop. Food shop's actually very valuable, especially because it's not that far off the road. It's only, say, about 15 is a conservative number of beats to burn there in order to get a food shop, and you can easily save 15 beats worth of time somewhere down the line. Jaguarnick going down to half a heart. Very risky spot here. That armor is not going to do anything. Though I suppose it did save them from dying so far. Desperately checking the shop, probably looking out for some heal items here. It's transmute tomes, but won't transmute those items because they can't afford them anyways. But Slimo, meanwhile, on the way down to Fortissimo. I'm actually gonna read the rules about seed variants and stuff right now because... one sec. Let's see. Articles, Control F. Seed variant. There's nothing. And there is a potion for Slimo. They will go down to only 2 bombs, which isn't enough, but a saving grace there, as a Golem cracks open the top of the potion room, allowing them a free passage towards the exit room, and jaguarnick goes down. This is all on Slimo to survive this and seal off the first point for themselves. That Ring of Piercing, put in a lot of work in Zone 4, definitely a ring that you'd want to have in this zone. Makes traversing the zone much faster and much safer. Oh, blowing up the pixie there, it's worth taking the extra time here, given your opponent just went down to make sure you get that pixie heal, given how limited your health pool is right now, even with the potion. jaguarnick finding the bloodshot is starting to build up instead of just pushing, because it's a bit futile if they just tried to push. But Slimo is needlessly pushing. Come on, engage slow play procedures. This is completely useless. Well, I mean, you can pad out your stats with this, but is Slimo stream watching? I'm pretty sure Slimo is someone who screen watch. Your opponent went down. So this is needless. Needless pushing. And there goes one hit on their heavy glass. They want to keep that alive going into the dangerous bosses at the end. And definitely check this shop too, it's right there. Unless they killed the shopkeeper already, which I believe they haven't from looking at the map. Very ballsy push up onto this dragon, just using darkness to put out an insane pace. They're going for dot fastest, it seems. There goes their armor entirely. I would safe up. Check the shop for safety. I would definitely safe up here, Slimo. This is... especially Slimo's someone who doesn't know how to do Dead Ringer. Doesn't know the standard Dead Ringer strats. But yeah, they seem to be backing up here, which I do like, but they can definitely be playing this a lot more safely. Now, going into Dead Ringer with Earth Spell, along with Shield Spell if things go wrong, they seem to be luring, which I don't hate at all. Given they don't know the standard Dead Ringer strats, learn your Dead Ringer strats, so lures are fine. That's probably the safest option for them right now. And those Darkness and the Darkness Shrine will allow them to just not have the sarcophagi skeleton spawns aggro them, which is very nice. Not needing to worry about that. Going down to the Necrodancer with a decent amount of health. And activates the shield for the extended shield bug. So very, very nice. Slimo has pretty much got this in the bag. jaguarnick goes down in a pretty respectable pushback in Zone 3. Pretty respectable. And they will corner the but they will be prepared for the next one as Slimo finishes off with an insanely quick 833 given their opponent died. Slimo has definitely had a massive improvement every season, in my opinion. It's someone close to my heart. Kappa pride. Kappa. So, someone I keep tabs on, but I have always had a winning record against them in CoNDORs and Grudgeadors and whatever. But this season, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go down against Slimo. This has gotten that much better that I don't think I even stand a chance, to be honest. But yeah, this is very much Titanium play. Slimo very much cementing himself as the Titanium Division racer here with that speedy run. But as always, it's a bit of a shame to see jaguarnick getting screwed over by seed variants because particles are off on Slimo's side. getting a Peace Shrine instead of a Shrine of Darkness, which is kind of like a shame. Seed variance from that should just not exist, but it does. And we've seen it possibly come into play here. Not to fault Slimo's play or anything, because Slimo played very well that run. jaguarnick did too, but not quite enough. Slimo and jaguarnick are both going to go for the throw, but Slimo will fail due to bad luck. Another thing that should be more consistent between seeds. It should be seeded, but it isn't. You just gotta get lucky. Slimo does have the chance to try again, but that will put them at pretty far behind. They might just take an item and run, which I think that's what I would do as well. Taking Glass Longsword and Torch, I would say put the Torch behind, but Slimo is someone who's better than me anyway, so. But I'm not sure if going down a half a heart is worth it, because you might find a better weapon later down the line. Don't just assume that you're gonna stick with this. But Slimo is definitely someone who can run this Glass Longsword, I believe. I wouldn't say that for the previous seasons they were in CoNDOR, but this is looking fresh for Slimo. Seriously powering up between seasons. And during seasons, actually. Because the last time we raced, it was in the early of last season, and improvement has been pretty nice. jaguarnick as well. Not to fault any of these racers on anything, but we do love seeing people get better. There is a Blood Shrine on jaguarnick's side. It has 2 bombs, so has a chance to snag a very good ring here that Slimo might not get due to seed variance from particles. Which is, as I say, it's very dumb. Okay, good. The shrines are the same. Bless. I hate to see seed variants like have any effect on these racers. But Slimo is still not planning to take any hits. They're still rolling at half a heart here. Not taking any safety hits or anything. That fair and balance is coming in pretty awkward in my opinion, but Slimo handles it fine. Okay, jaguarnick gets cornered and will get hit. Massive damage coming out of that giant shielded skeleton. Slimo is in the lead once more. But jaguarnick isn't quite out of this yet. Slimo did suffer his own death on zone 1, on floor 1-1. Though that isn't nearly as bad as suffering a death in zone 2. But this is definitely something jaguarnick can come back from. Would not count them out of this yet. Slimo, though, is putting up a pretty incredible pace, so it's going to be a fight. Depends how much Slimo wants to save up here. Build up, get safe. And they're definitely taking the time to. We have a nice selection of shrines here. Slimo will pass up on all of it. Bombing is still a bit risky, given if you take a hit, which you easily can, you'll drop your Glass Longsword, and that's pretty much a death sentence. And taking peace will lose your weapon. So unless there's a good weapon, there's a great weapon here. Can definitely go back and take peace. But it looks like, how did they get all weapons out of that luck shrine? That is uncanny. It's on 3-1 too, so most of the weapons aren't good, but there will be one excellent weapon in the form of electric dagger. We have 3 special daggers on this floor. 3 out of the 4 special daggers appeared on that floor for Slimo there. jaguarnick, meanwhile, killing the conga lines, taking out King Konga in the standard way, but it looks like there was something bad in black that I missed. Another excellent weapon on Slimo's side, so has a choice, but we'll keep with the electric dagger. At that point, it's more of a comfort thing, which one you're more comfortable with. Bit of a nasty situation for Slimo there, but very good push. Making sure everything's fine. We have an early throw of the throwing star on Slimo's side. I kind of don't understand that. If anything, you throw when he's starting to run away from you. Not when you can easily hit him. And we have beats dropped on Slimo's side. Some weird beat stuff happening on the hot coals there. Allows Slimo not to take any damage. I'm assuming just moved really late one beat and then early the other one. But I will not be able to check chests. Jaguarnick on the run back. Sunglasses with gold rapier is not the most comfortable thing. But these racers should be decently comfortable with just running sunglasses no matter what. But Slimo here, taking time. Taking their time, definitely. I do, but still putting up a pretty fast pace. This is good racing on Slimo's end. Has a lot of potential this season, I think. That was an unnecessary telemonkey. Unwarranted, unnecessary. Could have been a mistake though, I wouldn't count that out. Slimo wasting a cookie, could have just eaten the ham first and then kept the cookies. But it's decently safe with the Squega suit. That is a value Goblin Bomb there. Absolute value out of that Goblin Bomb. Jaguarnick pushing down onto Zone 3, refusing to check chests. But Jaguarnick is going to keep the sunglasses over the spiked ears. Not confident that they can keep it alive, or thinking that the sunglasses will save more time, given it allows them to drop beats, unlike the spiked ears. And spiked ears also comes with an element of risk of just losing it all. But Slimo using Electric Dagger, wiping out, very satisfying. Fortissimo fight with Electric Dagger, wiping out the mosh pit, but will take a hit from Fortissimo himself. Not being able to claim the flawless, but it doesn't look like they will need it. Very interesting placement here. We got Shot Bro up. It's not Shot Bro down. That's the Shot Bro down is the only one that I can completely disagree with. But Shot Bro up is still kind of disagreeable for me. And Jaguarnick goes down. This pace from Slimo is something. Very formidable racer. Jaguarnick is gonna get back in there. Definitely get back in there. Slimo isn't in the safest of spots. Having only 3 heart containers. And no potion. Or any other form of mitigation, but Slimo just needs to finish this off now. Utilizing the infinite damage combo with the Electric Dagger and Wire on Slimo's end. We still have great pushing on Slimo's end. Very safe and fast pushing. Safety is definitely the more important part here, but safety is included. I would still check that shop. There's definitely still things you can find to help you on your adventure, especially taking a few hits here. They will go back to full health thanks to the Ring of Regeneration, but they are down to Dead Ringer, and they actually know fast left. They lied to me. They actually know Dead Ringer strats, or at least fast left, which is the easiest one of them all. It will go very, very swimmingly. Onto the Necrodancer fight with full health. 0 bombs though. Needs to press every single button here. Slimo putting up formidable pace. if Slimo is reasonably consistent at this phase, they can definitely do wonderful things in CoNDOR X. Dorian taking a pretty big hit there. Pretty big hit. Needs to watch out for Dorian's health, but they got the space to make this. They got the space. They got the time to make this as safe as a fight as they can. Dorian is not in a good spot, but Slimo realizes this and is careful when advancing on the Necrodancer. I would just wedge Dorian on the corner there, but looks like we're just gonna continue this fight. Dorian needs to be looked out for, but it will be fine. Ending with a time of 11:25. Another fast enough time out of Slimo, given that their opponent was significantly far behind. We're not seeing the slow play procedures. We're seeing a decent pace coming out, even during slow play. There's definitely a difference between push mode and slow play here, but the slow play and push mode isn't that far apart. But Slimo is playing confidently, playing well, playing aggressively, and all of that, combined with not dying, is letting them find a lot of success inside of this set of matches. And we are off on our last seed. We are seeing if jaguarnick can take a point off of Slimo here. It's been pretty dominantly Slimo, I have to admit. jaguarnick unable to keep up with the pace and trying to push at it and then dying. But part of it is some worse build moments. But both of these races are pretty pushy. More of a speedrun style than a building style. Immediately we have an Obsidian Harp, which is a great weapon to have right off the bat. It's an endgame worthy weapon. You could be satisfied with this, or you can search for something better. It's up to the racer. Slimo dropping the beat here. jaguarnick will also pick it up. But Slimo getting grabbed by a monkey. This leaves the door open for jaguarnick to start building up, to try to take a point off of Slimo here. But this gap isn't that big. Especially Slimo knows where the Obsidian Harp is. And just grab that, and then also push down to King Konga. Slimo is already on 1-3. He's not taking no for an answer. He's refusing to let that death set him back that far. jaguarnick satisfied with the weapon, checking purple for a Ring of Luck. Slimo definitely a bit more wary of monkeys this time around. Monkeys can just end your run in Zone 1. They're a pretty devastating enemy, given that they don't deal any damage. They move every beat though, and can cause some really bad things to happen to you. Slimo dropping the beat once again, a bit in a precarious situation with the Minotaur and the Ghost. But is now down to King Konga. jaguarnick having their lead be whittled down slowly and slowly by Slimo here. I do not want to race against Slimo. Slimo is definitely someone that is scary. Has pretty scary pace, while still not being really an elite racer. They are definitely putting up a show. jaguarnick checking purple once again for a Ring of War. A better ring this time. Slimo is using this harp very well to mitigate these swarms. Will take a bit of extra time to have to deal with them, but Slimo freezing up a bit, literally, but decides to run the wrong way to try to build up here. They will tap the boss shrine. There's a Ring of War later down the line, so I'm not sure what will appear in purple now. And Slimo continue to build up, even though that they're behind. That is peculiar, in my opinion. Given that we have seen them just go, when they should have built a bit more, but now they're building up when they're behind, so maybe that's not the best, but who knows? It's all on the racer to decide. Boots of Pain for jaguarnick does not have enough health to pick it up. Also has Spear, but can easily find a weapon to swap off to. That might accompany Pain better, but Obsidian Spear is not a bad weapon to keep. Now has enough health. Bit of a scary situation for Nick there, with the skeleton in the box. Slimo going down to Zone 3 now. Titanium Broadsword swap off. I'm not sure how what I think about that. They have 2 forms of damage up, so that heart will always be on 3 damage nonetheless. However, there is the chance to pick up regen here, and Slimo will gladly do that. Still keeping up 3 damage, so it ended up being the right choice, it seems. Not the worst choice, but I was pretty lucky there. Jaguarnick down to Coral Rift 3. Still keeping ahead of Slimo. Slimo deciding to build up a bit. This is a pretty nasty 3-2 for Slimo. But it's just tearing through these enemies. Picks up an excellent weapon in the form of the Titanium Rapier. Jaguarnick still rolling a pretty minimal build, but Slimo is as well. Very much seeing a push style out of both of these racers. But who can push better is the thing, and can Slimo recover from the early death? And Slimo's already on Coral Rift, spending a bomb to take out aggro Coral Rift early, and Jaguarnick goes down to an ogre. Some nasty Void Masters there, and some nasty walls in the way. Didn't have any way to mitigate that. No safety spells, no iframes of any kind. It's just sitting there now. I think it just needs to go back in it. Slimo isn't someone who's guaranteed to win. Right, Slimo being very careful with this Telemonkey this time. But right now, Slimo applying the pressure very well, being an intimidating opponent. Like, I am scared just watching this. I would be scared to go against this. This is scary. If you go against someone who plays like this, you have to survive the pressure, or just be faster than them. Which there are definitely better racers. Jaguarnick is still sorrowing in death. I get going. There we go. Best place to take a break is Zone 2. If you were gonna take one. Slimo is definitely pulling on the build now. This is some puzzler stuff with the spiders here. Slimo will just take a hit. Has Ring of Regen anyways to recover it. But I do believe the play there was to hop to the corner. Some bats giving Slimo trouble. 2 hearts is not a good place to be in and get taken out in 1 hit. Eats the apple immediately to bring them into a safer position health-wise. Picks up the drumstick as well to replace their worst food. There is heavy glass armor on Slimo's side. That makes things a lot more comfortable. But how long can Slimo keep this armor alive? There is a potion room, it seems, on jaguarnick's side that both of these racers missed earlier. Just occupied with pushing on to zone 2 as soon as possible. Slimo has one bomb to check this tier 3 wall. Looks like they will pass up on it. Food shops are good. Even if you might not be able to aggro the food shopkeeper, still, Slimo not having a way to kill here. This is definitely worth killing. Definitely more worthwhile to kill this than to check the tier 3 wall at this point, knowing this. Might want to find a bomb. Snag up this extra safety, given that their heavy glass is on its last throws, but they will just continue on. 9 minutes, given that they took an early death. jaguarnick resetting once more. Hey, this time they're taking a different route, doing a wrong way strats. Seeing what they can find. They can't find much though. And Slimo's leaving behind the Blood Warhammer. That is a thing I don't expect Slimo to do, but it makes perfect sense. I think most racers would definitely opt to keep Titanium Rapier over Blood Warhammer, given this current build. Yeah, Slimo definitely taking it a bit slower than we have seen in the earlier seeds, which they definitely do have the space to work with. So it is no issue at all. Slimo, go check. Go buy shop bro. Go buy shop bro. Feeling's good. That's odd that Slimo would check the shop just not to buy that. I don't know what Slimo's looking for then. Maybe heavy play, but they wouldn't even be able to afford it. Probably some Hargreaves or something. Some kind of armor they would be happy with. Slimo getting frozen by the Gorgon, but no other enemies are there to capitalize, so they will be safe. Slimo making sure to back up and getting a beefy lunge. 5 damage lunge to take out the metronome in 1 hit. And we'll follow that up with the 2-hit Blue Dragon, dealing a pretty significant amount of damage with the Titanium Rapier. 3-5. We got pass left for Slimo. Left side scoots will prove well. They only have 1 bomb, so they should check red. They're still looking for a Squaga suit there, which I don't think that's gonna happen. We've already seen it in the shop. So they're gonna have to do butts. It's either check red or check black there, and I think most racers would check red in order to get to the bomb threshold. But these butt puzzles, having only a single bomb to work with. Right, safety going into this fight seems to be a single lick of heavy glass. Slimo is setting up to do a 3-0 sweep over Nick here. They're gonna want to keep the loot. jaguarnick did roll a bat just a couple moments earlier with this titanium whip, but it won't matter, because Slimo will just simply clean this up. 3-0, GG's. It's a bit of a shame that couldn't have gone that much more on jaguarnick's end, but formidable opponents, man.